Namaste children, how are you? Hope all of you are doing good. Have you seen the NEET paper on May 4th? Those who appeared already know this, and those who are entering into second year might be knowing through their friends. Some people complained it is one of the biggest nightmares for them. Many complaints are coming against the paper. Let's check it once, step-by-step solution for every question, and let us check whether really is it that much tough, and what is your opinion. Please mention it in the comment, share with us so that other people will know about this. Okay. So, and don't forget to subscribe. Let us begin the solutions. Look at the first question. Let us draw the surface of liquid like this. At certain point, let us draw the free body diagram. You know the surface tension force is in this direction, S into L. Similarly, in this direction also along the tangent here. And observe the angle now. Yet, let us say this is the horizontal. Let's say this tangent, first one, is making an angle theta here. Obviously, the second one is little higher according to diagram. So let's say it is making an angle theta plus d theta. Okay, now resolve these forces. First, resolving this SL, the left side one, we'll draw like this. SL sin theta and here SL cos theta. Similarly, the right side force which is going top right side, that one, if you resolve that, you will get this is SL cos theta plus d theta, and here is SL sin theta plus d theta. And there is one more force acting here, weight, which is mg, like this. Now you can see that along the vertical line, these three forces should balance. So what can we write? SL sin theta plus d theta should be equal to mg plus SL sin theta. Right? It is theta. Now proceeding further, in the question they mentioned angle is very small. Look at this one. So take theta, sin theta, tan theta as same. So we are writing SL into theta plus d theta is equal to mg plus SL sin theta. We can take it as SL theta. Okay, now simplify this. On the left side, SL theta plus d theta, this step. SL theta plus SL d theta is equal to, what is the mass? Mass is density into volume, which is rho into y into L into dx. This is volume. So totally, we'll get mass now into G plus SL theta. You can see that this SL theta terms cancel each other. So what is remaining? SL d theta is equal to rho y L dx. Now write d theta by dx. Okay. And what does it happen? It becomes on the right side rho y. That L also we can cancel on both sides. So d theta by dx equal to rho y g by s. Right? And next thing, in the question they mentioned that take theta is equal to dy by dx. So what can you say? D theta by dx is equal to double differentiation of y. So d square y by dx square. So it becomes d square y by dx square is equal to rho yg by s. So that's our equation. Got the answer? So answer is second option. Okay, second question. What is given here? Microscope, focal length is given, eyepiece focal length and objective focal length, and the tube length L is 40 centimeter, right? So FO is 2 centimeter and FE is 4. And distance is also given. Now the magnification in the microscope, they did not mention where is the image formed. So what should we do? We should consider normal adjustment, which means image is at infinity, which means the focal length will, the magnification will be this L by FO into D by FE. So L is 40 by focal length of objective 2 into D 25 by FE, that is 4. So magnification is how much? 4 and 40, 10, 2 in this one, 5 times. 5 into 25, 125 is the magnification. Option 2. Next one. Here, you know the condition for velocity selection, right? V equal to E by B, and E should be perpendicular to B. This is the condition for velocity selection. Now let us use this here. From this, what can we say? E is equal to V into B. What is V given here? 3 into 10 power 8 meter per second by 100. Given velocity is c by 100. And what is the magnetic field given? 9 into 10 power minus 4 Tesla. So into 9 into 10 power minus 4. Answer is 27 into 8 minus 4 plus 2 minus 2. 10 power 2. So this is the magnitude of electric field over option 2. Okay, look at this one. Fourth one. Here, what is given? Two inclined surfaces are there, rough and smooth. We know on smooth surface, the acceleration is just mg sine theta. Whereas on rough surface, friction is also involved. So the force will be mg sine theta downwards and backward mu mg cos theta. So what will be the acceleration? On the smooth surface, it is g sine theta. Whereas on the rough surface, g into sine theta minus mu cos theta. And it is given in the question that both are traveling same distance on the plane. So L is same, L is distance. And L is equal to, half at square, because initial velocity is 0 here. So for these two surfaces, if you write half into acceleration on rough surface into time taken on rough surface square is equal to that on the smooth surface. From this, what can we write further? AR by AS is equal to TS by TR whole square. And what is given in the question? It is taking 2 times on the rough surface compared to smooth. So TS by TR is 1 by 2 square. It becomes 1 by 4. Next, AR can be written as, already I have written there, G into sine theta minus mu cos theta by smooth surface acceleration g sine theta is equal to 1 by 4. Now cancel g. What do we get? Rewriting the equation, writing on the left side 4 sine theta minus 4 mu cos theta is equal to sine theta. And according to question, theta is given as 45 degrees. Right. So what can we write in the equation further? Sin theta, cos theta both are 1 by root 2. So I'm taking 4 by root 2 common here. 1 minus mu will be remaining is equal to, on the right side, sin theta is 1 by root 2. Now cancel root 2, root 2. 4 into 1 minus mu is equal to 1. So 1 minus mu is equal to 1 by 4, which means mu is equal to 3 by 4. which is 0.75. So answer is this. Fifth question. Here we have two cars A and B. Initial kinetic energies are given 100 and 225, and the stopping distances are 1000 and 1500. Now we have to find the ratio of forces. And you know one thing, work energy theorem. Change in kinetic energy is equal to work done, and work done is equal to force into displacement. Right? Now, change in kinetic energy is nothing but the initial kinetic energy itself, because they are coming to rest. Finally, it is zero. So, change in kinetic energy is nothing but initial energy. So, let us use it directly. Now, change in kinetic energy in A by that in B, that is 100 by 225 is equal to work done. FA into 1000 meters by FB into 1500 meters. Now simplify this thing. 100 and 1000 10 times, 225 15 times, and 100 times here, and again this one you can cancel it as 10 times. So what is remaining? FA by FB is equal to 10 by 15, which is 2 by 3. So answer is this, 2 by 3, second option. Going to sixth question. Look at this one. Here the resistors combination is given. You can see this part, this rectangular part, it is nothing but a balanced Wheatstone bridge. So let us take it separately and find that resistance first. So what will happen? The bridge resistance 6 is not there. It is current is 0. So remove that. 5 and 3 are in series, and on the other side 2.5 and 1.5 are in series. So 5 and 3, and parallel to this 2.5 and 1.5, which means 5 and 3 together, this is 8 and this is 4. 8 and 4 are in parallel to each other. So what will be the combination? That resistance, that rectangle part resistance will be, let's say R1, 8 into 4 by 8 plus 4, which is 32 by 12. So how much is this? 8 by 3. This is the resistance of the rectangular part. Now clearly this is in series with other 3. So total effective resistance will be how much? This 8 by 3 plus this one 1.5 and 5.5. This total is 7 series, and here 1 by 3 is there. Let's write everything. 1.5 plus 5.5, which is 8 by 3 plus 1 by 3 is 9 by 3, which is 3, plus 1.5 plus 5.5 is 7, totally 10 ohms. Now what will be the current? Total voltage by effective resistance. Total voltage is 5 by resistance is 10. So current is 1 by 2, that is 0.5 ampere. Option 2. That's it. Going to the seventh question. Question number 7. What is given here? Mass m is suspended by a light string of length L. Bob is given a horizontal velocity v0 at the bottom, and string gets slack at some point. What do you mean by the string is getting slack? That means tension at that point should become 0. This is one thing. And next, the angle is given. Now let's find out the ratio between V and V0. Okay. So let's start with the diagram. Let's say this is the path. This is point P. At this point, Let us say this is the line joining the center, which is nothing but the radius, whose length is L according to question. So this is L. Let us say this point is A at the bottom. Here velocity is given as V0. And here horizontal, this angle is given as theta. Observe now, at point P, there are three forces acting. One, along the radius inwards, tension. Another, outwards, centrifugal force mv square by radius L. And downwards, its weight. So these are the three forces. Now coming to the energies. The total energy at A and P should be the same. And at A, it is taken as reference level. So you can take potential energy is 0 here. Whereas at P, both potential and kinetic are there. So at A, total energy is nothing but only kinetic energy, that is half m v naught square. At P, what does it happen? It is kinetic energy half m v square, where v is velocity at P, plus potential energy mg hp, height of point P. Now let us find the height of the point P. Observe the diagram. From the bottom to the center, this diameter, up to this one, this length is, the distance is L, height. And above this, observe this triangle, this shaded triangle. In this triangle, you can see that this height, let us say L dash is equal to L sine theta. Now, what is the total height of H? That HP, that is L plus L sine theta, that is L into 1 plus sine theta. So let us rewrite in this equation, half mv square is equal to half mv square, that is v naught, this is v, plus mg into L into 1 plus sine theta. Further simplifying this, we can cancel 2 and m in all these things. So what do you get? V naught square is equal to v square plus 2gl into 1 plus sine theta. I will divide that also, 2gl into 1 plus 2gl into sine theta. I got 2 here because I multiplied the whole equation with 2 to cancel that half. Now, v naught square and v, we got some relation. Let's take it as equation 1. Now coming to conservation of energy equation. What can we say? Total energy at A, we already mentioned that. Now coming to force equation. At point P, we told that tension T is equal to 0. Now observe this free body diagram. This tension T and mv square by L and mg, all these three things should balance each other. Now I am writing the component of force along the radius, component of weight. If this is mg, you can see this angle is theta. So this will be mg cos theta. And along the tension there will be mg sin theta. Now what is the equation? T plus mg sin theta is equal to m v square by L. And T is 0. So mg sin theta equal to mv square by L, or g sin theta is equal to mv square by L. What will you get from that? V square is equal to Lg sin theta. Take it as equation 2. Substitute this one in the equation 1. What are we substituting? V square is equal to Lg sin theta. Now come to equation 1. This V square is equal to Lg sin theta. So equation is V naught square equal to Lg sin theta plus 2gl plus 2gl sin theta. Now you can see, adding them, V naught square is equal to 3gl sin theta plus 2gl. GL is common. You can write it as GL into 3 sin theta plus 2. Now what is the question? We have to find out V by V naught. And V square is given as GL sin theta. We got in equation 2 by V naught square is equal to, just now we got it as GL into 3 sin theta plus 2. Now cancel GL and squaring on both sides. What do we get? V by V naught is equal to sin theta by 2 plus 3 sin theta under root. This is the final equation. So option is fourth. Question 8. In this one, logic gates are given. You can see that here this is a NOR gate, this is a NAND gate, and the final one is AND. Now let us write the output for each of them. Let us say this output here it is, let us name it as small p. Let's name this output as q, and the final output is named as y. You know y is equal to p into q, AND gate. And what is p? P is equal to, since it is from NOR gate, it is a plus b whole bar, which is a bar into b bar, or a naught into b naught, you can say. Q is equal to NAND gate, which means a into b whole naught, which is a naught plus b naught. Now y equal to p into q, which is a dot b, a naught into b naught into a naught plus b naught. Multiply. What will you get? A naught into b naught plus b naught into a naught, which is nothing but a into a is a. So a naught into b naught plus b naught into a naught. Both are a, b, b, a, both are same. So you can write it as a naught into b naught. And a naught into b naught is equal to, according to Boolean equations, a naught plus, a plus b whole naught, isn't it? This is y. And what is this indicating? NOR gate. So answer is NOR gate. Let's see the next one. Ninth question. Electric field is given. Expression for the corresponding magnetic field. Let us find the magnitude first of all. Magnetic field is equal to E by C. Okay. The peak value will be B naught is equal to E naught by C, which is 60 by C. Velocity of light is 3 into 10 power 8. So what can we write? 3 in 60, 20, 10 power minus 8, which is 2 into 10 power minus 7 Tesla. This is B naught value. But we have two such options. Now we have to think about the direction. It is given that E is along Z direction. And where is propagation happening? You can see within the equation kx plus omega t. So propagation is happening in negative x-axis, okay, along the x direction. In simple words, x direction. So propagation C is in x direction, E is in z direction. You know all the three should be perpendicular, so B should be along y direction. So equation will be the first one. Option 1 is the answer. 10th question. Ball of mass is given 0.5 kg, falling from 40-meter height and hits the ground and rises to 10 meter. So it is losing some kinetic energy here, obviously. Next, impulse imparted to the ball during its collision with the ground is. Impulse, impulse is nothing but force into the time interval, which is also equal to change in momentum. We have to take with directions here. And while coming down, what is the velocity it is reaching to the ground? It is 2gh under root, which means 2 into g, they ask to take it as 9.8 into h1 is 40 meter. So how much is this? 2 into 9.8, 19.6 into 4. So 196 into 4 you can take, which is 14 into 2, 28 meter per second. Similarly, V2, it is rising to 10 meter height. So 2 into G into H2. So 2 into 9.8 into 10. How much is this? 14. Right? And while coming, V1 is downwards, V2 is upwards. So you can take one of them as negative, other as positive. Now change in momentum is mass into V2 minus V1, which is 0.5 into 14 minus 28 is opposite, no? So minus 28 becomes plus 28, 14, 42, 42 into 0.5, 21. So answer is 21 Newton second. Option 1. Going to next one, 11th question. Part of the circuit is given. This is many times repeated question, VA minus VB. So let's find out. Here current is increasing or decreasing according to the question. It is increasing. So what does the inductor do? It will produce opposite EMF. So it will behave like a cell connected in opposite direction like this. So effective circuit will be in this way. The inductor is behaving like a opposite cell, then that 5-volt cell, then 2 ohm resistor. Okay, and here is A and B. And how much is the induced EMF due to this opposite cell, that induced cell? EMF is equal to L di by dt, negative of course. So which is minus L is 1, di by dt also 1 ampere per second. So entirely that becomes 1 volt minus. So VA minus 1 volt minus that battery 5 volt, that opposite cell connected, and the 2 ohm resistor. Potential drop across this one, across the resistor is how much? I into R. Current is given 2 ampere and resistance is 2. So 4 volt across it. So minus 4 is equal to VB. Now rewrite the equation, VA minus VB is equal to, adding all these things, which becomes 10 volt. So answer is fourth option, 10 volt. Going to the next one. Question number 12. What is given here? A 2 ampere current is flowing through two different small circular coils. Radii are given. Ratio of the magnetic moments. Magnetic moment is equal to I into A. In both cases, I is same. So you can write M is proportional to A, which means magnetic moment is proportional to pi R square. Remove pi, magnetic moment is proportional to R square. So M1 by M2 is equal to R1 by R2 whole square. And ratio is given as 1 is to 2. So 1 by 2 whole square, which is 1 by 4. The answer is 1 is to 4. 13th question. In a certain camera, combination of four lenses are given, all are in contact, and power of the combination is asked as well as the magnification. You know, power of the combination will be sum of all powers, right? Taking the sign conventions properly. Whereas magnification, when different lenses are combined, is nothing but product of each of them. If there are n lenses, m is equal to m1 into m2 into m3 into like this. Now, power of each one is p. So, total effective power will be how much? Adding all of them, 4p. Similarly, magnification. Each one is m. So, effective magnification will be multiplying m1 into m2 into. So, m multiplied 4 times m power 4. So, this is the answer. Option 3. Next. 14th question. An oxygen cylinder of volume 30 liter has some number of moles. Some oxygen is removed, and now the gas pressure drops to 11 atmospheres, which means total pressure now will be 12 atmospheres. 1 atmosphere is how much? 1.013 into 10 power 5 Pascal. Okay. The mass of the oxygen withdrawn from the cylinder is nearly equal to. We have to find the mass removed. First, let us find out how many moles are removed. Okay. Let us find out number of moles finally. N is equal to, PV by RT. What is the final pressure? 12 atmospheres into volume is 30 liters. Same cylinder, volume did not change. So 30. Converting into SI units, minus 3 by RT. R is 8.314. You can also take it as 100 by 12. R value is 100 by 12. Calculation may become easy with that. Into temperature is given 27 degrees, so 300 Kelvin. Now, on simplifying, what do we get is approximately, I am giving the value here, approximately you will get 14.5, close to that. And initially how many moles are there? 18.2 according to question. N1 is 18.2. N2 we found out that is 14.5. So number of moles removed is how much? That is initial 18.2 minus final 14.5, right? So how much is this approximately? 3.7. 3.7 moles. Find the mass now. Mass of 1 mole of oxygen gas is 32 grams, isn't it? That means 32 into 10 power minus 3 kilograms. So, removed mass is equal to how much? 3.7 moles into 32 into 10 power minus 3 kilograms. So, the nearer value will be 0.11. Okay, 116, 1156 around it will come, which is third option. Right, going to the next question, 15. What is given here? Time t is equal to x square plus x. Now, differentiate with respect to x. What do we get? dt by dx is equal to 2x plus 1. And dt by dx is nothing but 1 by velocity. So 1 by v is equal to 2x plus 1. Or you can write v is equal to 1 by 2x plus 1. Say this is equation 1. But the question is to find acceleration. You know acceleration is equal to dv by dt, which can also be written as v into dv by dx. What is v? 1 by 2x plus 1. And what is dv by dx? d by dx of 1 by 2x plus 1. Differentiation 1 by 2x plus 1 as usual into d by dx of this one, that becomes 2x plus 1 whole power. Here it is denominator, which means minus 1 is there in the power. Now it will become minus 1 which is minus 2 into, because of the denominator another negative will come here, right, into differentiation of this denominator term, that will be 2, right. Now final equation will be minus 2 by 2x plus 1 power 3 over, answer is second option. 16th one. To an AC power supply, voltage is 220 given, frequency is 50 given, and what else is given? 20 ohm resistance, capacitive reactance and inductive reactance are given directly. And what is asked? Find the corresponding current and also phase angle between current and voltage. Let's take the direct equation here. You know impedance is equal to under root XL minus XC whole square plus R square. How much is it? XL minus XC, 50 minus, capacitance is 25, inductive reactance is 45. So the difference is 20 squared plus R is 20. So another 20 square under root, which becomes 20 root 2 impedance value. And what is the current? V by impedance. Okay, peak current is peak voltage by impedance, RMS current is RMS voltage by impedance. So this is 220 by 20 root 2. How much? This one 11 times 11 by root 2. Okay, it is approximately 7.8 will come. 11 by root 2, 11 by 1.4, it is something between 7 and 8. So we are going from the option 7.8. But what is the angle, phase angle? You know, cos phi is equal to R by Z, which is 20 by 20 root 2, which is 1 by root 2. So phase angle is 45 degrees. So correct option will be second one. Next, 17th one. In this question, sun time period is given as 27 days. This is about rotation about itself. It is not revolution. So keep that in mind carefully. What will be the period of revolution if the sun were to expand to twice its present radius? You know, moment of inertia is proportional to r square. Okay, it can, whatever you take, 2 by 3, 2 by 5 for different shapes, r square is common. So now if radius became 2 times, moment of inertia will become 4 times. And according to conservation of angular momentum, L is constant angular momentum, which is I into omega. So I into omega should be constant, and omega can be written as 2 pi by t. So I into 2 pi by t should be constant. or you can also say I proportional to t. Now, in this question, I became 4 times because of the radius. So, time period also will become 4 times. Initially 27 into 4, 108 days. That's all. Option 4. Next one, 18th one. Here it is given. A model for quantized motion of electron in a uniform magnetic field states that flux passing through the orbit is n into h by e. What is flux equation? Flux equal to B into area. This is given as NH by E. Now what is asked according to model? Magnetic moment of an electron in its lowest energy state. So lowest energy state, what can you mention? Their principal quantum number n is 1, least value. So BA is equal to H by E. Or you can say A is equal to H by EB. Now coming to magnetic moment equation. Magnetic moment is asked, right? So moment is equal to I into area, current into area. And what is current? E by time period into area, which is E by time period is total distance in one rotation, that is circumference 2 pi r by velocity v into area A. So m is equal to EV by 2 pi r into area we already obtained. Let us say here, this is equation 1. Let us say from 1 you can write it as H by EB. Now finally you have to eliminate this V and R according to the options. So what to do? You know radius in magnetic field is mv by qb when you release a charge in magnetic field. So from this V by R is equal to qb by m. So rewrite this. Then magnetic moment is equal to E by 2 pi H by EB into V by R. V by R means QB by M. Now cancel certain times E and E, B and B. And this Q is nothing but charge of electron here. So you can write it as H into E by 2 pi M. Right? So answer is He by 2 pi M. Second option. 19th question. What is given here? 3 rods are connected and the thermal conductivities are 2K, K and 2K, and at various points temperatures are given. Now what should we find? Rods are thermally insulated from outside. Steady state. In steady state means the rate of flow of heat is constant at all points, same at all points. Okay, and what should we find? Find the ratio T1 by T2. So let us obtain some equations first. Take this one as 3 different sections. So let us name them first section, second section and third section. First section conductivity is 2K, temperature difference is 3T and T1. And it is mentioned all are identical, so lengths and areas of cross section are same. So for the first section, what can we say? dq by dt is equal to 2K into area A into temperature difference 3T minus T1 by length L. Say this is equation 1. Second one, second section dq by dt is equal to, there it is K only, K A by L into temperature difference T1 minus T2. Say equation 2. Now going to third section, dq by dt is equal to, again 2K here, 2K into A by L, temperature difference is T2 minus T. Right? So these are different equations we have for 3 given sections. Now let us simplify. We want T1 by T2 ratio. So we can use any 2 of them and solve one by one, finally get the ratio. Taking the first and second equations, what can we say? Left hand sides are same, so RHS should be equal. 2Ka by L into 3T minus T1 should be equal to Ka by L into T1 minus T2. This is obtained from equation 1 and 2. Okay, what can we say further? Ka by L is same on both sides. So 60 minus 2T1 is equal to T1 minus T2 on simplification. Further, we can say that 60 minus 60 is equal to 2T1 writing that side, 3T1 minus T2. Say this is equation 4. And still you can work the next two equations also. Equations 2 and 3. Using these two, what can we say? Left hand sides are equal. So right hand side Ka by L is common. Direct line writing. T1 minus T2 is equal to 2 into T2 minus T, which is 2T2 minus 2T. Okay, so from this one 2T is equal to what will come? 2T sending to the left side. 2T is equal to 3T2 minus T1. Okay. This is, let us say, equation 5. Now observe the equation 4 and 5. We have T1, T2 terms. You can simplify this one to obtain their ratio. Okay. Now I'm writing equation 4 by equation 5, which is 60 by 2T is equal to 3T1 minus T2 by 3T2 minus T1. And simplifying this, you can cancel this one as 3 now. So sending this denominator to the left side, 9T2 minus 3T1 is equal to 3T1 minus T2. So 8, not 8, 10T2 is equal to 6T1, which means T1 by T2 is equal to 10 by 6, which is 5 by 3. Option is third one. Okay. Okay, 20th question. Plates of parallel plate capacitors separated by D and two slabs, different dielectric constants and different thicknesses are given, inserted in the capacitor. Now what happened? The capacitance becomes 2 times. So initially let us say it is C naught, that is epsilon naught A by D. Now it became new capacitance is 2 into epsilon naught A by D. Now let us work out, and K1 is given as 1.25 K2, which means K1 is equal to 5 by 4 K2. Since they are asking K1, value of K1, every term should be written in terms of K1 only. Okay, so we have to eliminate K2 somewhere, which means we have to write here itself K2 is equal to 4 by 5 of K1. Okay, now let us proceed. Now the given capacitance can be drawn in this way. Two dielectrics are added. This is one, that is a K1 with thickness 3D by 8. Second one like this with D by 2 thickness and K2 constant. But still some space is left. That space is nothing but air. Means K is equal to 1. And how much is that thickness? Let us find out. That thickness is nothing but total minus sum of the first two, which means D minus 3D by 8 minus D by 2. So which will be D by 8, right? Now So final one is d by 8 and constant k1. Now in such capacitors you have the equation resultant capacitance will be equal to epsilon naught A by d1 by k1 plus d2 by k2 plus d3 by k3. There are three parts. So what can we write? Resultant capacitance is epsilon naught A by d into 2. So 2 epsilon naught A by d is equal to epsilon naught A by, what is d1? 3d by 8. So 3 by 8 k1. I'm writing d outside, common from all the terms, plus second one is thickness d by 2. So d by 2 k2. K2 is how much? 4 by 5 k1. So 4 by 5 k1 plus the last part is air. K is 1, thickness is 1 by 8. And you can see on both sides epsilon naught A by d can be cancelled. So 2 is equal to, and in all these things you can see denominator is having 8 in common. So it will come to the numerator like this: 8 by 3 by k1 plus 5 by k1 plus 1. Okay. Now cancel the numerators 2 and 8. 4 is remaining here. And now rewrite the terms. On the left side 1 is equal to 4 by 3 by k1 plus 5 by k1 is 8 by k1 plus 1. Okay. Now simplify this. 8 by k1 plus 1 is equal to 4. So 8 by k1 is equal to 3. K1 is equal to 8 by 3, which is approximately 2.6666, like that. You can say 2.7. Okay. And anyway, option is 2.66 is there, so you can go with that without any hesitation. That's all. Okay. 21st question. Two cities X and Y are connected by a regular bus service, bus leaving either direction every t minutes. So t is the time between two buses. Now a girl is driving scooty with a speed of 60 km per hour, and X to Y notices that bus goes past her every 30 minutes in her direction and every 10 minutes in opposite direction. Now we need to find out the time period between the buses and also speed of each bus, speed of the buses. Let us say the buses are going with the speed v from both the sides, from X as well as from Y. Let's say this is X and this is station Y. And girl is moving in this direction, let us say X to Y, according to question, with a speed of 60 km per hour. And what is the relative speed between the buses coming from X and the girl? That is v minus 60. Similarly, relative speed with the buses coming from Y will be v plus 60. Right? Now, let us say d is the distance traveled between two crossings by the bus. I mean, before two overtakings. So d is equal to, what can you say? V minus 60 into, let's say the time taken is t1, that is given here 30 minutes. So half an hour 1 by 2 hours. We are writing all distances in kilometer and speeds in kilometer per hour. Similarly, from the other side, what can we write from opposite side? That buses speed is v plus 60 and the time taken for that is given as 10 minutes. So 1 by 6 hours. And both are same. So we can say v minus 60 into 1 by 2 is equal to v plus 60 into 1 by 6. Now Simplify this. 2, 6, 3. So 3v minus 180 is equal to v plus 60. And further simplifying this, 3v minus v, 2v is equal to 240. So v equal to 120 kilometer per hour. This is the speed of each bus. And still there is another part of the question. They are asking time period between the two buses. Now let's say that d is v minus 60 into 1 by 2 we wrote. Let's write this one. D equal to v is 120 minus 60 into half an hour, which will be 30 kilometers. Now time period between the buses is d by velocity, which is 30 by velocity 120, which is 1 by 4 hours, or according to option they are given in minutes, so 15 minutes. So this is the answer, option 4. 22. A uniform rod of mass given, length is given, leans against a smooth vertical wall making an angle 60 degrees. Other end rests on a rough horizontal floor. It is at rest, so it is in equilibrium now. The friction force that the floor exerts on the rod is, so we have to assume that now that rod is both in linear as well as rotational equilibrium. What does this mean? Net force as well as net torque both should become 0 in magnitude. Okay, let us draw the diagram for this. Say this is the wall and the floor. The ladder is like the rod is like this, and angle made with the wall is 60 here. Let us say the center of mass, let us look at of the rod. The force of gravity, weight, is acting here. And what are the other forces? The wall is applying normal reaction here, let us say NW, and on the other end the floor is applying normal reaction, let us say NF. These are the two forces acting along with the weight downwards. Now the total force and total torque should be 0. First of all, taking the condition of net force. If you take along the vertical direction, what can you say? Net force should be 0. What are the vertical forces we have? NF and mg. So these two should balance each other. And what is NF? Normal force applied by the floor, which is m into g. In the question, mass is given as 20 kg and g is 10. So 200 Newton. This is the NF, normal force by the floor. Now let's find the torque. You know, torque is equal to force into perpendicular distance. Let us find the perpendicular distance for all the forces. Here, name these points as like A and here B near the wall. We are taking the wall as the fulcrum, that fixed point at the wall as the fulcrum. So, first force, mg. Here, the force applied by the wall does not cause any torque because distance from the fulcrum is 0. Torque is 0. Mg is causing, you can see that in this kind of rotation, anti-clockwise rotation. Similarly, Nf is causing clockwise rotation, right? And what is the other force acting here? We didn't mention this one. Friction also acting in this direction, right? Because the rod tried to slip in this way, so friction acts opposite to that in this direction. Okay, friction is also causing rotation. In which direction? You can see here it goes in this way, anti-clockwise direction. So there are two anti-clockwise torques and one clockwise torque. What are the distances, perpendicular distances? Let us find out. Mg and the wall, observe this distance. You can see the length of the rod, this part, if you take, that will be L by 2. right? Distance, perpendicular distance of mg from the wall, that is this distance. How much is that? From the triangle you can see that is L by 2 sine 60. So I'm writing it as L by 2 sine 60. Okay, so torque caused by mg will be mg into L by 2 sine 60 anti-clockwise. Torque caused by the normal force of the floor, how much is that? You have to take this distance because force is going like this. You have to take the perpendicular distance, which is L into sine 60. Now what else is remaining? Frictional force. It is in this direction. So we have to take from the B to that point perpendicular distance. This one. This is L cos 60. You can see from the triangle clearly. So now NF is causing NF into the torque is NF into L sine 60, and friction is causing F into L into cos 60. So these are the three torques. Now let's write the equation for the net torque, which is 0. Now mg and F both are anti-clockwise. So mg into L by 2 sine 60 plus F into L cos 60 should be equal to NF clockwise torque. That is NF we found out 200. So 200 L sine 60. Okay, now sine 60 is root 3 by 2, cos 60 is 1 by 2. Let's put the values. So mg is already we found out. No, mass is 20 kg, g is 10. So 200 into, in all these things, first of all cancel that L. Okay, now it becomes 200 into sine 60 root 3 by 2 and one more 2 here by 2 plus f into cos 60. So f into cos 60 is 1 by 2 is equal to, on the other side, 200 into sine 60, that is 200 into root 3 by 2. Again you can see 2 common in all the denominators, cancel that. So now finally what is remaining? F is equal to 200 root 3 minus, here this is 100 root 3. So 200 minus 100 into root 3. So F is 100 root 3 Newton. That's all. This is the friction. So 100 root 3. Option is second one. 23. Another controversial question. Different people giving different opinions on this. Let us see our view. Okay. First of all, in an oscillating spring mass system, spring is connected to a box filled with sand and mass is leaking according to the question. This mass is leaking slowly. So it is asked about frequency and amplitude. What happens to these two? We know that frequency is equal to 1 by 2 pi into root of k by m, which means it is proportional to root m, inversely proportional to root m, isn't it? Here frequency is indicated with omega in this question, so let us use the same. So 1 by root m. In the question what is happening? Sand is leaking, so mass is decreasing, so omega will increase, right? That to how inversely proportional to root m. So the graph will be like this. But we have three options like that. Coming to second part. What happens to the amplitude? Here the total energy is not losing. Total energy is constant, isn't it? We can write total energy as half m a square omega square. This is constant, total energy. And now we can see from this a square is inversely proportional to omega square, correct? So it could be like a square is, omega square is proportional to 1 by root m. So it comes like a square is proportional to m and mass is, so a is proportional to root m. Mass is decreasing, amplitude also decreases. So amplitude graph will be like this. Okay, there are other arguments also. Energy is constant, so amplitude will be constant. First option. Actually we can't exactly at this moment, we cannot exactly conclude this is the option, but I am going with option 4. But we have to wait what is the intention of NTA in this question. There are different opinions on this, right? So let's go to the next one. Next, 24. In this one, it is given a balloon is made of material of surface tension S and area A filled with a gas of density rho and spherical shape of radius r. So these are all given to you. And one more thing is the time is given as t. What are the dimensions of each of them? Surface tension is m t minus 2. Area L2. Density m L minus 3. Radius is length itself. And time t. And in the question it is mentioned t is proportional to s power alpha, a power beta and rho power gamma, r power delta. Let us write all the dimensions here. T on the left side. And there is no mass and length. So let's make them zeros. Equal to s power alpha. That means m t power minus 2 power alpha into area power beta. So L square power beta. Next rho power gamma. So m L minus 3 power gamma. Similarly r power delta, which is length power delta. Now multiply them. M power alpha plus gamma into L power 2 beta minus 3 gamma plus delta into time power minus 2 alpha. That's all, right? This all equal to left hand side t, just m0 l0 t1. So now comparing time on both sides, you can say minus 2 alpha is equal to 1, which means alpha is equal to minus 1 by 2. Now comparing mass terms on either side, alpha plus gamma is equal to 0, which is gamma is equal to minus alpha, and alpha is minus 1 by 2, so gamma is equal to 1 by 2. You have only one option with these two, so you need not do alpha and beta, other two, beta and gamma. Finished. Third option. Next question, 25. Vernier. Consider the diameter of a spherical object being measured with vernier calipers. Suppose its 10 vernier scale divisions are equal to 9 main scale divisions. You know the principle of vernier. The least division in the main scale is 0.1 centimeter. So what does this mean? One main scale division is equal to 0.1 centimeter given in the question. And it is mentioned that 10 vernier scale divisions are equal to 1 MSD, which is 0. Sorry, not 1 MSD, 9 MSD. 9 MSD means 0.9 centimeter. So 1 VSD is equal to divide with 10, it becomes 0.09 centimeter. Now what is the least count? 1 MSD minus 1 VSD. That is, so 0.1 minus 0.09 in centimeter. This will be 0.01 centimeter. This is least count. And one more information is provided here. Look at the question. The least division in the this is given. 0 of the vernier is at x equal to 0.1 centimeter when jaws are closed. That means there is some error in this. How much is that? In the main scale we have error. Error is 0.1 centimeter. So we have to take it as positive error. Hence, correction will be negative. So corrected main scale reading will be actual main scale reading minus the corrected value 0.1 centimeter. Now coming to the measurements. The main scale reading for the diameter is 5 centimeter and vernier coincidence is given as 8. So let's put the equation. So the diameter will be equal to how much? MS corrected MSR plus VC into LC, vernier coincidence into least count. So corrected mean scale reading is actual mean scale reading 5 minus 0.1, that is 4.9 centimeter. So now D equal to 4.9 plus VC is 8 into LC is 0.01, all in centimeters. So it will be 4.98 centimeter. That's all. And this one. In a parallel plate capacitor made of circular plates being charged such that the surface charge density on its plates is increasing at a constant rate. Magnetic field arising due to displacement current is, you know, the magnetic field is created by the displacement current. In this case, imagine the space between the capacitors like a cylindrical conductor. Okay, imagine a cylindrical conductor between the plates. In cylindrical conductor, expressions for magnetic field inside and outside. Inside the conductor, it is proportional to distance from the center. Outside the conductor, it is proportional to 1 by R. So, here it is asked about inside. So, as you go away from the center, field becomes increasing. At the surface, it is maximum. After that, again decreasing. So, it goes like this. So, maximum at the edges. That's it. So, what is the answer? This one. Look at this question. Unpolarized light beam traveling in air is incident on a medium of refractive index 1.73 at Brister's angle. What is the concept of Brister's angle? At Brister's angle, let's indicate with P. Tan P is equal to refractive index of the medium. And refractive index is given as 1.73, which is nearly root 3. So approximately root 3, which is tan P. Hence P is nearly equal to 60 degrees. This is the angle of incidence. Brister's angle is nothing but angle of incidence where maximum polarization happens for the reflected beam, isn't it? So incident beam, reflected beam, angle of incidence and angle of reflection are same. So if this is 60, this one is also 60. Now coming to the options. Reflected light is completely polarized. That's in the definition itself. And angle of reflection is close to 60. Option 1. That's it. Look at this one. Two identical charged conducting spheres A and B have their centers separated by a certain distance. Let us say R. Charge on each sphere is Q. And third identical uncharged conducting sphere is brought in contact with sphere A and then with B and finally removed. Now new force of repulsion between A and B. Let us see. So let us say initially A is Q, B is Q, C is 0, initial charges. Then what happened? C is brought into contact with A. Now the charge is shared between them Q by 2 between A and C. So that the new charges become Q by 2, C Q by 2, B did not change, it is Q. Next again it is brought into contact with B. C and B are in contact now. and C is already having q by 2. Now B is having q. Total charge is 3q by 2, which is shared between them. So what happens? Divide with 2. So each one is getting 3q by 4. So B became 3q by 4. C became 3q by 4. A q by 2 itself. It remained the same. Now the new force. Initial force was between A and B. F is equal to kq square by r square. If distance is r between them. What is the final force between A and B? That will be k into q by 2 A. B is 3q by 4 by r square. Now how much? 3 by 8 kq square by r square. Kq square by r square is initial force. So it became 3 by 8 into F. Right? That's all. So 3 by 8 F. Answer. Fourth option. 29. A container has two chambers of volumes V1 equal to 2 liters and V2 is equal to 3 liters separated by thermal insulator. The chambers contain N1 equal to 5, N2 equal to 4 moles and P1 is 1 atmosphere, P2 is 2 atmosphere. Let us take all the values first of all. Volume is given in liters. All volumes are in same units, so you can take directly. When the partition is removed, the mixer attains an equilibrium pressure of. So you know the finally pressure is P, let us say, and total volume is V1 plus V2. This should be equal to P1 V1 plus P2 V2. Now P into V1 plus V2 means 2 plus 3 in liters is equal to P1 V1 on the right side. P1 is 1 atmosphere into V1 is 2 plus P2 is 2 atmosphere into V2 is 3. So P into 5 is equal to 2 plus 6, which is 8. So P is equal to 8 by 5, which means 1.6 atmosphere. Answer is second option. 30. A particle of mass m is moving around the origin with a constant force F, pulling it towards the origin. So you can say F is the constant force, which is centripetal, mv square by r. Next, if Bohr model is used to describe the motion, radius of the nth orbit and particle is, you have to obtain these two. Bohr's model is applied, so obtain angular momentum. mvr is equal to nh by 2 pi according to Bohr. Now what can we write? From this equation, V is equal to nh by 2 pi rm. Now force can be written as mv square by r, right? So m by r into v square is n square h square by 4 pi square r square m square. Now simplify this one. You will get the force is equal to n square h square by 4 pi square r cube into m. Right? This will be the force. And the total force is constant. So now write the relation between r and n. R cube is equal to these all things by f n square h square by f into 4 pi square m. So r cube is proportional to n square, which means r is proportional to n power 2 by 3. Only one option we have. You need not find this other things. So option 3 directly. Okay. 31. Radius of Martian orbit around the Sun is 4 times radius of orbit of Mercury. So let us say the Mars is 1, Mercury is 2, let us say. So R1 is 4 times of R2 and T1 is given. T1 is 687 days. We have to find T2. You know Kepler's third law, T square proportional to R cube. So T2 by T1 is equal to R2 by R1 power 3 by 2. That is R2 by R1 is 1 by 4 according to question, power 3 by 2. That is 1 by 8. So T2 is equal to T1 is 687. So T2 is equal to 687 by 8, which is 88 days. Option 1. 32. Body weighs 48 Newton on the surface. Gravitational force experienced by the body due to Earth, that means the weight, at a height equal to one third of the radius. So h equal to r by 3. We know that g is equal to at a given height, that is surface value into 1 plus h by r power minus 2. Multiply with mass on both sides, you will get the weight. So weight at a given height is equal to weight on the surface into 1 plus h is given as r by 3 power minus 2. No cancellation. Weight at the given height is equal to surface weight is given as 48 into 1 plus 1 by 3 power minus 2, which is 48 into 1 plus 1 by 3 is 4 by 3 power minus 2. You can reverse the fraction since there is negative power. So 48 into 3 by 4 square, that is 48 into 9 by 16, which is 27. So answer is 27 Newton 2. Option 33. A wire of resistance R is cut into 8 equal pieces. So then what happens if you cut into 8 pieces? Resistance of each of them will become R by 8 for each. Then what happened? From these pieces, two equivalent resistances are made. How are they made? By adding 4 of these together in parallel. So we are adding 4 in parallel. Each one is R by 8 and 4 in parallel. And in parallel, R by N. That is, each one is R by 8 by 4 pieces again. So R by 32 for this combination. And then these two sets are added in series. So like this, R by 32 and another R by 32 are added in series. So total is sum of them. So 2 into R by 32, which is R by 16 ohms. Final value is R by 16. 34. De Broglie wavelength of an electron orbiting in the n equal to 2 state of hydrogen atom is closed. We know n lambda is equal to length of the orbit, that is 2 pi r, and the radius of nth orbit is nothing but 0.052 nanometers into n square. According to the question, r naught is given. So now you can write n lambda, which is 2 lambda second orbit, is equal to 2 into pi into radius, that is 0.052 into n square. N square is n is equal to 2 second orbit, so 4 nanometers. Now cancelling the 2 on both sides, lambda you can obtain by simplifying this, and you will get approximately 0.67 nanometers. Option will be second. 35. An electric dipole with a dipole moment 5 into 10 power minus 6 coulomb meter is given. Aligned with the direction of a uniform electric field, magnitude is given. Dipole is then rotated through an angle of 60 degrees with respect to the electric field. Change in the potential energy. You have direct equation. Change in potential energy is equal to dipole moment into electric field into 1 minus cos theta, which is dipole moment is 5 into 10 power minus 6, electric field is 4 into 10 power 5 into 1 minus cos theta is cos 60, which is 1 by 2. So 5 into 4 into 1 by 2 into 10 power minus 6 plus 5 is 1 joule. Answer is second one. 36. Constant voltage of 50 volt is maintained between the points A and B. The current through the branch CD. You can see here C and D are directly connected, so short circuited. So what can I say? This 1 and 3 are in parallel. Again 2 and 4 are in parallel. So we can write the equivalent combination like this, right? Whereas the applied voltage is 50 volt. Now 1 and 3 are parallel. So if I say through 3 ohm, let us say the current is I1. Then since it is parallel combination, that 1 ohm will have 3 times of I1. Parallel combination, 1/3 of resistance. Apply the same for the second combination. 4. Let us say I2 is the current passing through 4 ohm resistor. Then 2 ohm will have double of it, 2 into I2, because resistance. You can see the ratio of resistance. Now the total current should be total voltage by effective resistance. We know that. And one more thing you can observe in this is this 3I1 and I1 are combining and then passing through the middle branch, then going to other side. Okay. So here the total current is 4I1, and that is also equal to the other side 2I2 plus I2, that is 3I2. So 4I1 is equal to 3I2, isn't it? That is equal to total current actually. So 4I1 equal to 3I2 equal to total current I. How will you get total current? Find the effective resistance. Here 1 and 3 are in parallel. So the effective resistance is 1 into 3 by 1 plus 3, that is 3 by 4 ohms. Similarly 2 and 4 are in parallel, which means resultant will be 2 into 4 plus 2 plus 4, that is 8 by 6 or 4 by 3 ohms. Now the effective resistance totally will be 3 by 4 and 4 by 3 are in series. So 3 by 4 plus 4 by 3, which is 9 plus 16 by 12, right? Which is 25 by 12 ohms. Now the total current is I is equal to 50 total voltage by total resistance 25 by 12. So it becomes 24 amperes total current. Now let's come to I1, I2 values. You know 4I1 is given as I, 24. So I is equal to 6 ampere I1, isn't it? So here I can say I1 through 3 ohm, that current is 6 ampere. So through 1 ohm resistor, how much? 3 into I1, 18 ampere. Let's find I2 also. From this you can say 3I2 equal to I, which is 24. So I2 equal to 8. So 4 ohm. Here the current is 8 ampere, which means through 2 ohm the current is 2 into 8, that is 16 ampere. Now observe the circuit. 1 ohm is having 18 ampere, the 2 ohm is having 16 ampere. Now come back to the actual question. So here in this diagram, this is 18 ampere, this is 16 ampere. According to KCL, what can you say? KCL says total current at the junction C should be same. So at C, 18 is equal to 16 is going out and some other current, let us say I dash, is going downwards through CD. So current through CD plus 16. So which means current in the CD branch should be 2 ampere. That is the answer. Answer is this. 37. A photon and an electron have the same energy ratio of their de Broglie wavelength. Let's write for photon. First of all, you know energy is equal to hc by lambda. So lambda is equal to hc by energy. For the electron, you know lambda de Broglie equation, that is h by momentum, which is h by root of 2me. Take the ratio. Lambda of photon by lambda of electron is hc by e by h by under root 2me. So I'm writing the fraction in reverse like this. Simplify. H and h are gone. C into 2m by e under root. This is equation. Answer is 3. Next question. 38. This is direct question. Leonard and Halvash observations. You know the photocurrent is proportional to intensity of light. So directly you can go with the first option. And it is independent of frequency, you know. 39. A sphere of radius r is cut from a large solid sphere of radius 2r. The ratio of the moment of inertia of the smaller sphere to that of the rest part of the sphere. So it is nothing but about removal of mass. When there is an object and you remove some object from some part of it, then the resultant moment of inertia is total moment of inertia minus moment of inertia of the removed part, right? Now let us use this concept to find the given thing. First of all, assume small portion, the smaller portion is having mass m. Radius is given r. Okay, here we have two parts. First of all, the bigger sphere and the smaller sphere. The axis is passing through center of the bigger sphere and the tangent of the smaller sphere. So for the smaller sphere, moment of inertia will be 2 by 5 m r square plus mr square, because it is around the tangent. So plus mr square, parallel axis theorem. So it becomes 7 by 5 mr square. Whereas for the bigger sphere, it is initially, if you did not remove anything, then it is 2 by 5 into what is mass? 8 times of the smaller mass into radius is 2r whole square. Why it is 8 times? Because radius is 2 times of the smaller sphere and mass is proportional to r cube, so 8 times. So how much is this one becomes? 2 square 4 into 8, 32 into 2, 64 by 5 mr square for the larger sphere. Smaller sphere it is 7 by 5 mr square. Now what is the question? Remaining portion, let us find out first of all. moment of inertia of the remaining part after removing. That is moment of inertia of the larger sphere minus that of the smaller sphere. That is 64 by 5 minus 7 by 5 mr square, which is 57 by 5 mr square. Now finally, final step. Question is about moment of inertia of the smaller part by remaining portion, which is 7 by 5 by 57 by 5, which means 7 by 57. Final answer. 40. Here, a full wave rectifier circuit with diodes D1 and D2 is shown in the figure. Input supply is given. Then at t equal to 15 millisecond, what is happening? Forward and reverse biased. Okay, you know an AC current consists of positive and negative half cycles like this. If you take the diodes D1 and D2, when there is a positive half cycle, D1 becomes forward biased, D2 becomes reverse. In negative half cycle, the opposite happens. Now we have to identify which cycle is entering the circuit, positive half cycle or negative. So for this purpose, look at the equation. V is given as 220 sine 100 pi t, and time is given as 15 millisecond. Just directly put the time. 220 into sine 100 pi into 15 millisecond. 15 into 10 power minus 3. Okay, what does it become? 220 into sine, it will become, after cancellation, 3 pi by 2, right? So what does this mean? 3 sine 3 pi by 2, it becomes negative value, so it is minus 220 volt. And directly you can say like this, it is 3 pi by 2 more than pi and less than 2 pi, so it is negative half cycle, isn't it? So D1 is reverse biased, D2 is forward biased. So option 2. 41. Two gases are there, A and B, filled at the same pressure, so P1 equal to P2, and the movable piston radii are given RA and RB, so AA will be pi RA square, area of B will be pi RB square, and equal amount of heat is supplied for both. Okay, reversibly under constant pressure. The pistons of gas A and B are displaced by 16 and 9. So dxa, dxb are given. If the change in their internal energy is same, then the ratio of Ra by Rb. See, internal energy also same changes, which means heat is same, change in internal energy is same, which means work done is same in both. So P into delta V1 is equal to P into delta V2, change in volume. Pressure also is same on both sides. So delta V1, area into dx1 is equal to area into dx2 for A and B. Okay, dx1, that is dxa and B. So AA is pi Ra square into dxa is 16 is equal to pi Rb square. So Ra square by Rb square is equal to 9 by 16, which is Ra by Rb is equal to 3 by 4. So option 2. 42. A physical quantity P is related to 4 observations as follows. Percentage errors are given. The percentage error in the quantity P is. So let's write all the quantities A, B, C and D are there. The exponents, powers of each of them are 3, 2, 1 and D is 1 by 2 root. Okay. So now what is the change? Percentage change is nothing but 1% in each of them. A is 1%, B is 3%, C 2%, and the last one is 4%. Now, percentage change in P is how much? You know, if Y is proportional to X power N, percentage change or relative change also is equal to N into delta X by X. Either percentage change or relative change, the same thing. So it is multiply power and percentage change. For A, 3 into 1% plus 2 into 3% plus 1 into 2% plus 1 by 2 into 4%. How much? 3 plus 6 plus 2 plus 2, which is 9 plus 9 plus this one, 13%. Answer is option 3. 44, 43. Question 43. The intensity of transmitted light when a Polaroid sheet placed between two crossed Polaroids at 22.5 degrees from the polarization axis is. So here it is given that I naught is the intensity of polarized light after passing through the first Polaroid. Generally we take initial as I naught, but here after passing through the first one it is I naught. So which means initial must be I naught by 2 into I naught, isn't it? Okay, so let's take all the three Polaroids like this. First one and third one are crossed, which means between these two the angle is 90 degrees. And first one and second one are 22.5 degrees, which means the other one is 90 minus 22.5. Okay, now this intensity is given as I naught. Okay, now here let us say I1, here let us say I2 final. So I1 is equal to how much? I naught into cos square 22.5 and I2 will be I1 into cos square 90 minus 22.5 degrees. Now you can write this one as I naught into cos square theta. It can be written as 1 plus cos 2 theta by 2. So which means 1 plus cos 2 theta is 45 by 2. Similarly, what happens to I2? I2 is equal to I1 into cos square 90 minus theta, that is sin square theta, which is sin square 22.5, which means again this one is sin square theta is 1 minus cos 2x by 2. So 1 minus cos 2x is 45 degrees whole by 2. Okay, now put I1 value here. Now what will happen? I2 will become I1 means I naught into 1 plus cos 45 by 2 into the remaining portion 1 minus cos 45 by 2, which is I naught by 4 into 1 plus cos 45, 1 minus cos 45, that is 1 minus cos square 45, a square minus b square, which is I naught by 4 cos 45 is 1 by root 2, square is 1 by 2 and 1 minus 1 by 2. So final answer is I naught by 8. That's all. Okay, 44. two identical point masses, which means both masses are same P and Q, suspended from two separate massless springs of spring constants K1 and K2, oscillate vertically. Maximum speeds are given as same and the amplitudes are AQ, AP, the ratio. Maximum speeds are given, so you know maximum speed is equal to A omega. So here AP omega P is equal to AQ omega Q. And what is asked? AQ by AP. So this is omega P by omega Q. And you know omega is equal to root of K by M, which is proportional to root K. Mass is same for both. So this will be equal to root of K1 by K2. Finish. So answer 4. 45. A pipe open at both ends has a fundamental frequency F in air. Pipe is now dipped vertically in water drum to half of the length. Fundamental frequency is, first of all it is open pipe, then it became closed pipe. Length also is changing. So what is the fundamental frequency in open pipe? You have V by 2L, that is given as F. In closed pipe, general equation is V by 4L. But here what happened? The length became half. So V by 4 L by 2, which is V by 2L, which is equal to the open pipe's frequency. So this one also is equal to F again. So answer is second option. So that's all. Take care. Please don't forget to subscribe. Okay, I hope the information was useful to you. Please mention in the comment what you felt about this, and if you suggest any improvements or what can we do better, please mention in the comments. I'll read. And one more thing, if you have any doubts in the subject, either it can be a question or a concept, if you mention in the comments, I'll try to make a video on that explaining it. Okay, and please like the video, share with your friends. It can be useful for many because most of the videos available are in Hindi. So if somebody may need it in English, so just share it please. Thank you very much. Meet you next time.